Hello YouTube, this is Gojirex with a review on the Jurassic Park Carnotaurus, quote, demon figure from Series 2 of the original Jurassic Park line. And this figure was released in 1994 by Kenner. And I don't have the box or the dino damage piece, but it did come with the capture gear. And this was the first of only 2 times a full-sized Carnotaurus figure was released, and the other being in the Lost World line. However, there was a 2011 prototype that was announced but never released, and the value of this figure can differ substantially depending on whether or not the box and the capture gear or the dino damage is included. And usually, mint in box, it would be around $400, $500, while when it's loose, it can range differently. I mean, I've seen some go for 20 bucks loose, some go for 80 bucks, or for me, I got it for 50 bucks with the capture gear, so that's a pretty good deal. But again, the dino damage wasn't included for me. However, its retail value was $18.99 in American stores. For the Carnotaurus' background, he wasn't featured in any movies. He was featured in the Lost World novel by Michael Crichton. And he was also seen in the Jurassic Park comic books and a select few Jurassic Park games, including the newly released iPhone app, Jurassic Park Builder. And now on to the figure itself. And in terms of accuracy, this dinosaur is far from accurate. I mean, the arms are way too big for a Carnotaurus, and real Carnotaurus had 4 fingers instead of 3. The head, however, even though it looks scary in a kind of goofy way, it's not that far from accurate to the actual dinosaur. So first off, here's what the American box looks like on the front and the back. And as you can see on the back, there's T-Rex Turner, Jaws Jackson, and Harpoon Harrison capturing the Carnotaurus. And the European box is the same as the American box, but it has a protective plastic covering, which in my opinion should just be on every toy to protect the exposed figure from children damaging it in stores. Next onto the collector's card, which I also don't have, but here's a picture of it. Like the other Jurassic Park Series 2 figures, it doesn't feature the actual dinosaur on the card, but rather a scene from the movie. And on the back it displays information about the dinosaur. It has a movie moment, even though this dinosaur is not canon with any of the movies yet. Jurassic Park 4 was just announced, and it may or may not be in there, but again, we don't have any information on that. Also, it has some dino trivia, which is factually accurate to the actual dinosaur. And next, we have the capture gear. It comes with, I just gotta stand him up here. And he fell over. Anyway, it comes with a neck collar, kind of like a shock collar, a muzzle, and some shackles for his legs. And here's what it looks like with the capture gear on. Okay, wow, that took a very long time. I'm probably gonna have to cut out 2 minutes of video, because it took forever to get the headpiece on, and it's probably going to take forever to get it off. But I'm afraid that the capture gear might actually scuff the paint on the figure, because as you can see, it just squeezes his neck tight and it doesn't really fit on too well. And so I don't really recommend putting on the capture gear a lot. I mean, if you have it, put it on a couple times just to see what it looks like, but it's not really meant for playing if you want to keep your figure non-scuffed and in good condition. Now, in terms of playability, this guy's pretty limited. It can only move its arms, and that's pretty much the only point of articulation. And he has a nasty dino damage feature that looks really cool. And he's made of rubber, so you can bend him temporarily in the direction that you want. And if you squeeze his neck, his jaw opens up. It's a cool feature, but I don't think it was done very well. Overall, playability, not so great. However, the part where this figure really shines is the sculpt, which in my opinion is one, if not the most badass looking figure in the Jurassic Park line out there. The detail is very nice, and it actually has the small round bumps, like the actual dinosaur, instead of reptilian scales like people think. And my only complaint really is the arms. Even though they look cool, their size is really overly large. He's rubber in all places except the inside of the mouth and the teeth. That's plastic. The arms are hard plastic, and the knees down on the legs are hard plastic. So yeah, in terms of sculpt, this guy looks like one of the best Jurassic Park detailed figures out there. Not only that, but the paint job adds to the badassery and makes this figure worthy of the nickname Demon. It looks well done and not that rushed, and without it, this figure would look a lot more goofy than scary. And it kind of resembles the Carnotaurus from Turok. Now on to the scaling of this figure, and he scales rather nicely with the Jurassic Park Series 2 human figures, as this is how big Carnotaurus actually was. And this figure measures 8.5 inches tall, or about 15 centimeters tall, from the foot to the tip of the horn, and about 14 inches or 25 centimeters from the tip of the tail to the snout. And it's not that big of a figure, but it is one of the larger figures of the series line, only being slightly smaller than Utahraptor. But is it worth the price on eBay? I would have to say no. However, since it is probably the rarest Jurassic Park figure, excluding those Chaos Effect T-Rexes, the price is well deserved. And if you're a big JP fan and you want one of these, I'd go on eBay and look for one under 80 bucks out of the packaging. But if you really want it, go for it, because odds are you're not going to be getting another one on eBay for a while, because these things are not that common. So, overall, great scaling, mediocre playability, good sculpt except for the arms, amazing paint job. So, overall, I'll have to give the Carnotaurus an 8 out of 10. And I hope you enjoyed this review, and click that subscribe button if you want to see more reviews like this. Thanks for watching, and this is Gojirex signing off.